In today's video, we're going to talk about how to round using SigFigs. So in the last video that I made, we talked about the different SigFig rules and how to do math with the SigFigs that are given in the math problems. So with your calculator answers, you're going to get some crazy numbers like the ones that I have on my paper here. With the different numbers that I have here, I also have how many significant figures we need to round our answers to. So it is different in every single one of them. I just wanted to give you some different examples. So we're assuming at this point in time we've done the math problem, and once we've done the math problem, we need to round to a certain amount of SigFigs. So in this first problem, we need 3 SigFigs. This is the answer that our calculator gave us. So how we find the number of SigFigs that we need is we read from left to right. So the first 3 real numbers, like a 1 through 9 number, those are the ones that we need. So I'm going to take the 1, the 9, the 6. Next door to the 6, there's a 1. That 1 makes the 6 stay the same. So we're going to end up with 1.96. That's 3 SigFigs. All of these extra decimal numbers just drop away. With this number, we need 2 SigFigs. Again, we read from left to right. So the first 2 numbers that we come to are the 1 and the 8. The 1 next door makes the 8 stay the same. So 2 SigFigs would be 0.18. Zeros at the beginning of a number never count. With this next number, again, we need 2 SigFigs. Our calculator gave us 442. Reading from left to right, we need the 4 and the 4. The 2 makes the 4 stay the same. So we end up with 4, 4, but 44 does not equal approximately 442. We need to fill in a space holder 0 for that place right there, so it's still approximately the same number. Without a decimal place, that 0 doesn't count, so that number, 440, has 2 SigFigs. In this next example, I have point and then 000,53917. Again, I need 2 SigFigs. Now, all of these zeros for SigFigs do not count. Even though they don't count for SigFigs, mathematically they're still important to show how tiny that number is, so we're still going to write those zeros. Now I need the 5 and the 3 for my 2 SigFigs. There's a 9 next to the 3, so the 3 goes up to 4. So your answer with 2 SigFigs is 0.00054. The next number, we need 1 SigFig. If we need 1 SigFig, I just need this place right here. 5 makes the 1 go up to a 2, so my answer is 2. On this one, I need 3 SigFigs. For my 3 SigFigs, I need these 3 places. The 2 makes the 1 stay the same. So I have 4, 3, 1. Now, in order to make this number approximately the same, I need to fill in space holder zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. These zeros do not count because there's no decimal place at the end, so that maintains the same number of SigFigs. Now, occasionally, your calculator drops off unneeded zeros mathematically, but with SigFigs, that shows the accuracy in the number. So if your calculator spits out an answer of something like 25, but you need 4 SigFigs, do a decimal with 2 zeros after it. Zeros at the end of a number count if there's a decimal place present, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 SigFigs, which is what the question was asking for. Now, in this last one down here, we need 3 SigFigs, those 3 places. So we have 7, 8, 9. We're going to fill in 1, 2, 3 placeholder zeros. Now, oh, I didn't quite do that right. I didn't realize there's an 8 next door to the 9. With that 8 next door to the 9, that 789 actually becomes 790. And then we fill in our 3 spaceholder zeros. I apologize about that. Now with this number, that has 2 SigFigs. If I put a decimal at the end, now I have 6 SigFigs. If we run into an issue with that, where we can't get the right number of SigFigs, taking away the decimal or putting a decimal in, we're going to have to use scientific notation. When we put this into scientific notation, we're going to bring our decimal place between the 7 and the 9. So there's 2 SigFigs. We add a 0 to give us 3. So I want to know how many times did I move my decimal place from the original spot to the new one, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So we have 7.90 times 10 to the 5th to give us the 3 sig figs that we need.